Hey guys, this is Earth Waters with Howling at the Earth. The H.A.T.E movement discusses topics that surround mental health, traumas, and relationships. These topics are relevant to speak about as we encounter them voluntarily and involuntarily. There's a saying, do not mix business with pleasure. I wonder why. Can you start a business with someone that you're dating? Maybe a life partner or someone you're just kicking it with. As I thought about these questions, some factors played into mine. Financial investments, labor investments and responsibilities, emotions and feelings, and then being able to separate the business from the relationship, and then the short-term and long-term goals that that the partners have. So my view on that is, if the emotions and feelings are strong enough, is it possible to separate the relationship from the business? You may end up getting jealous because dude has to go and have a business meeting and a sit down or dinner and communicating with another female, and we don't know if it's 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. How do you feel then? Especially if you're jealous, or vice versa. It could be the guy on the other end. How are you going to handle that? Promoting. Now we know, it may take a little flirting. It may take, some hanging out to build these relationships and networking to get this business going. Now, I'm not saying that you're out selling yourself, but in any business, you're never doing business alone. You are building relationships and networking most of the time. It's all about who you know. So being in a relationship with someone that is your business partner, will you be able to handle that? And then I mentioned the short term and long term. If this is someone that you know for a fact, hey, this is only temporary, I'm only kicking it with you, it may not be a good idea to go into business with that person. And then long term, on the other hand, would be a little bit different, being that this is somebody I can see myself going into business with. This is somebody that I can be in a relationship with for the long run. But then we know whether short-term or long-term things come up, things happen that will hinder and affect that business from prospering based on things that is being done in the relationship or that takes place in the relationship. If it comes to a point where you guys have to break up or even come together with business planning, who will get what? So on that side where you guys break up, and depending on how that breakup ended or the relationship ended, will there be like confusion on who put the most work in, what they get out of the business, who takes the business, who does not take the business, things like that. On the other hand, when you're planning the business, or do you guys like divide it equally and say, hey, you may have put the financial part into this business, but the labor that I put in kind of matched it. So are we going straight down the middle with this or what? That's something to think about. But the only way I see that happening is that communication and that relationship and that business partner has to be as strong as a nail. Should the business proceed after a breakup? Should those two individuals be, hey, I understand you and we're not together, and we came up with this whole business plan. We have invested time, we've invested money and blood and sweat into this. We got to make this money. We could talk about the relationship later, but for right now, it's money to get, it's business to do. That's some go-getters. It has to be some go-getters. But then you have some that hold on to emotions and feelings and just forget it. Now you back being, in that same little pot. But you got some people that say, hey, whether or not if he's going to be or she's going to be with me regardless, guess what? I'm going to pursue what we talked about and what the business plan was, that I had in place for me, because business is personal. To me, I think it's very personal, because you'll find yourself depending on how much support you have with that business partner and that relationship being so closely tied that your drive is dependent upon that person. Whether when it's your business and your vision, your focus, your passion, you're gonna drive that business regardless if no one else is around, because it's personal for you. Going back into, if the relationship ended badly, could that person possibly seek revenge on the one that does or decides to pursue the business, feeling like because you're not doing business with me, you're not going to do business at all. I'm going to mess you over and send people for you and crash the business and do whatever it takes, because this was our idea, and because it didn't end well and it didn't go into my favor, then hey, I'll make it bad for you. Those are some things that all must be like considered when going into business with anyone, whether if it's a life partner, marriage, couple, dating, family, whoever. It's factors that play into business. Business is not it's not no lightweight thing. It is serious. It's all hands on deck. If the world dropped, we're still at it. So that's something I want you guys to think about. I thank you guys so much for being part of the H.A.T.E movement. Continue to watch and keep howling at the earth.